What is up, everyone? Okay, welcome to yours truly, Mr. Salas. All right, we are going over linear functions on the calculator. This is a smooth and easy notes session. All right, let's get it. Before we do anything, guys, what I need you to do for me, please, is to reset your calculator. How do you reset? I'm glad you asked. So you hit second plus 712, and it should be reset. So go to your calculator and you hit second, which is that blue button if you don't know already. Second, and then plus 7, right? I want you to hit 1 and then 2. And now it is reset. All right, that's step number 1, reset. All right, I'm going to bring that back up in a minute. So important, always reset your calculator. Okay, here's what we're doing today. How do you use the graphing calculator with linear functions? Equations must be in slope, intercept form. All right, those first three blanks, go ahead and fill that in your notes. Slope, intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, that's what we call slope intercept form. Now, today what I'm going to show you how to do is how to take this equation, write it in y equals mx plus b form, which you should already know based off the literal equations, and then put it in your calculator and graph it. So we're going to graph it and we're going to see what type of line it makes. We're going to see what type of equation it makes. And then we can pull up a table, right? We can pull up a table and it has all these values here. So it's going to be super cool, super easy. And this right here, you already know how to do, but it's just review. So let's get it. All right. Here we go, guys. So first step, number 1. When we're given an equation like this, I can't put it in my calculator. It needs to be in slope-intercept form, like this, y equals mx plus b. So step 1 is slope-intercept form. So how would we do that? Let me draw my line here. Slope-intercept form means to get y by itself. I need to get this y by itself. We have to work outward in. I can't divide by this negative 5 yet until I've gotten rid of this 4x. So how would I do that? Minus 4x here, minus 4x here. We cancel that out. Okay, after I've canceled it out, bring down what you have not used yet. I haven't messed with this negative 5y equals, since 25 and negative 4x aren't like terms, they just get pushed together, plus 25. All right, here we go. Then here is where you want to divide by that negative 5, right? Divide by negative 5, but what you do to one side, you must do to the other side. Now remember, you have to do this twice because there's two terms over here. You can't just divide the 4x, the negative 4x by negative 5 and not do the 25. Because there's two terms over here, you have to divide both of those numbers by this negative 5. Okay, what do we have left? That cancels out. Y equals 2. And let's look at this. Because 4 over 5 doesn't simplify, you can't reduce it any smaller. Let's just leave it as a fraction, okay? And then we know the two negatives make it a positive, so I'm just going to write 4 over 5x. And what is positive 25 divided by negative 5? Well, that's a negative 5. Bam. Okay, that's it. That was step number 1. We just need to take that. This is standard form. We need to take this standard form and make it into y equals mx plus b form. All right, the next step is to graph it in your calculator. So let's go ahead and pull up your calculator. Here's my calculator. Okay, now what you need to hit is you need to type y equals. The y equals button is right here. Type this y equals button, so you should be here. Okay, now what we're going to type in here is just this side of my equation right here, just this side. Because if you see up top, it already has y equals 1, y2 equals. We don't need to type this side here. We just need the right side. So I'm going to hit second y equals. That's not what I wanted. I did that wrong, sorry. Alpha y equals, because I want to hit a fraction. So I'm going to type a fraction. So alpha y equals 4 over 5. Now remember, anytime we type a variable, we have to hit the button right next to this green alpha button. So not the alpha button, but the button next to it where you see the XT, and that little circle with the line and the N. That's what you want to hit. There's my variable, minus 5, minus 5. Okay, I have my equation here. What's my next step? If you guys can see right here, so first you press Type your equation in. Second, we need to press graph. So after you have your equation, here's your graph button right there. Tap that one. Okay, there's my graph right there. And then your next step says, here, let me use a different color. So we did this one, we did this one. What does your next step say? It says press second table graph for the table. So here's what we do. We need to hit, actually we need to type second, the blue button first, and then graph. So hit the blue button and then graph. So second graph, and now I have this table, right? Now I have this table. If you are lost, ask someone next to you how to do it. Don't come ask me yet. Ask someone next to you. Thank you. Okay, once you have this table, look, it already gives me my table values for that line. So any point that is on that line, and they just given us like whole or integers, right? We don't know what the decimal values are for like my x. So this is cool though. All right. Now, if we ever wanted to figure out something, we can go to the table. As you guys can tell too, this where it's pink, right? This is my y-intercept, right? Because when your x value is 0, your y value is a number. So I want to go and scroll and find when my y value is 0. Because when I find my y value 0, then I have my x-intercept. Oh, but it's not on here because it's going to be in between what numbers? It's going to be in between 6 and 7. Okay, so I can show you that later on how to find that in this case. All right, so that is how we graph equations. So now let me quickly recap what we did. First step, what do we have to do? We had to take this and make it y equals mx plus b. Okay, after we did that, what did I do? I went over here, hit y equals, and I typed in my equation. Okay, after I typed in my equation, what did I do? I hit the graph button, which is the very top to the right. Hit that graph button. I got this line, right? It shows me what the picture should look like. Okay, now that I hit that, if I wanted to figure out what are the points on this line, you hit second, that blue button, and then graph button again. It brings you its table. Okay, cool, cool. All right, so that's how we do that. Now, here's the second part. The second part says this: to find an equation in slope-intercept form from the table or points. Now, this right here, what I'm about to show you, is something I've already shown you. So this is really cool because you guys already know how to do this. We're going to take these points, plug them into my calculator, and figure out what my equation is. So let's go. So how do we do this? If you're at this screen and you don't know how to get out, what you need to hit is second. You need to hit second, this button here, second, and then mode. So this button second and the button right next to it, second mode, and it quits everything, okay? All right, let's go ahead and type in this list. So everyone hit stat. Okay, you should be here. After you hit stat, type enter. So you want to hit edit. That's where we want to be at. Now let's enter our values. Okay, so 1, enter. I'm just going to go down the list. 2, enter. 3, enter. 4, enter. Okay, so I've got all my x values because that list 1 is for all my x values. I'm going to hit my little cursor, this little arrow button to go to the right. Now 3, enter. 5, enter. 7, and 9. All right, cool. Now that I have all my x and y values in here, what do I need to do next? Remember, you need to hit stat again. Okay, now you hit stat. We need to go over here to where it says calc. All right, so you at the very top, you see edit, and then you see calc, and then you see test. Scroll over to calc. Bam. All right, remember, which one do we want? We want the one that looks like mx plus b, which happens to be our ax plus b. So let's click that ax plus b. Now my screen goes to this. Don't panic. For whatever reason, my computer, my little calculator is messed up. So let me just do it one more time and then it fixes. All right. So you should be at a screen that looks just like this. At the very bottom of your screen, it should say calculate, right? So scroll down all the way with your little cursor to hit calculate. Keep going all the way, and then hit enter, right? All right, so you should have this equation. You should have this equation. So let's go ahead and write the equation that we've been given. So our equation should be in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So what is my slope? My slope is usually my m, but in this case it's my a, so we have 2x. And then my b in this case is plus 1. And then bam, I'm given my equation, just like that. Now, this is where you guys on your test, yeah, we're kind of getting a little confused. You can also use this table to find the slope between these 2 points, just 2 points, right? You can, if you're just given 2 points, you can find the slope between that. So let me explain. Let's see. I'm going to show you 2 ways real quick, actually, just because it's super easy how to do. One way for me to find slope, I've already taught you, was this way, right? It was this. Change y over change x. Change of y over change in x. Okay, now on this side you have your change in y, and on this side you have your change in x on this side. So you ask yourself, from 3 to 5, am I increasing, decreasing, and by how much? So this is a positive 2. Okay, from 1 to 2, am I increasing, decreasing, by how much? This is increasing by 1. So your change of y is 2, right? That number goes here. And this number goes in your denominator, so it's 1. So then this is your slope, 2 over 1, which is just equals 2. Well, what do you know? That is what we found. Bam. So that's one way from a table. If you don't want to have to type it in a calculator, real quick. All right, now let's find the slope between these 2 points using the calculator again. All right, so everyone go back to stat. Okay, we need to edit our list again. We need to clear out those values, so hit enter. Now use these arrow keys to go up and delete what we have. Delete, delete. The DEL means delete, right? Right next to the mode and the stat button, DEL. Now delete all these values. Okay, now we need to type these both in. So I'm gonna type in a -3, enter. Okay, so I'm typing this x value in, right? Because here's x value, and this is also an x value. So I'm gonna type in a 1, enter. Now the y value that goes with the -3 is a +3, enter, right? And this y value that goes at a +3 is a 2, enter. All I do is type these points in, that's it. X comma y, x comma y. Same buttons all over again, guys. We're gonna, after we have our list in there, we hit stat, we go to calc, scroll down to number 4, the linear regression, ax plus b, hit enter. Mine says the same thing, right? So I have to do it again because my computer, my laptop, or my fake TI-84 is messing up. Go down, enter again. This is your screen should look like this, right? Scroll all the way down to hit calculate, scroll all the way down to calculate, and then hit enter. Bam! Okay, right here, this is what we have. So my slope, my m value, if we just wanted to write the slope, what would your slope be? It would just be negative 0.25, negative 0.25, okay? Which is also known as negative 1/4. Okay, cool. If we wanted to write the y-intercept, that y-intercept is 2.25. But that is how you find the slope off these 2 points. Okay, last part, guys, last part. So here are the directions. It says find the equation using the instructions above while using the points on the graph. All right, I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm going to take the easy way out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever this point is and whatever this point is, and I'm going to plug it into my my calculator to find everything. So let's see what this point is. This point right here is, so we know it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So my first point I'm going to put in is 0, 3. Now, if you wanted to do all of this and figure out what your slope was, counting here, and then you said that's my y-intercept, that's totally fine. You can do that too. I just want to show you how to use a calculator to be even more useful. 0, 3, and then that was that point. Now we need to do this point here, which is, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my x value is 4, going up 1. So 4, 1. Okay, let's take these 2 points and we're going to find their equation. So step 1 is find their equation. All right, so bring up my calculator again. Need to second mode to quit everything. Oh, it's already clear. Okay, So let's go to stat. I need to edit my list. Let's go back up here and delete, delete. Go to the other one, delete, delete. All right, here we are. 0, comma 3. 0, scroll over, enter. Let's see, 3, enter. Okay. 4, enter, and we need a 1, enter. All right. All you need to do is type in your numbers, right? That's it. Just type in your values. Type in your values. Okay, so after we've typed that in, 0, comma 3, 4, comma 1, again, stat, calc, go down to linear regression. Remember, mine's going to mess up. I have to type it in twice. See, it does that. So dumb, so dumb. Go down. All right, this is the screen you should be seeing, but you need to scroll down to calculate. And then once you scroll down to calculate, hit enter. And bam, here's my equation right here. My equation is y equals negative 0.5 x plus 3. Cool, negative 3. Okay, 0.5 x plus 3. All right, I'm going to just put this away so we can write that here. What is my equation? Let me write it right here real quick. Y equals negative 0.5 x plus 3. Well, if we know my equation, we already know my slope, negative 0.5. And then if we know my equation, we know my y-intercept. I'm going to write it as a point, 0, comma 3. We don't know my x-intercept and we don't know my 0, but I sure can find it. Watch me. Watch me find it. Okay, here we go. And it tells you how to find the y-intercept here. Let's look at the instructions. To find the x and the x-intercept or the 0 on the calculator, here's how you do it. You go second trace, arrow left bound, x-intercept. I'm going to show you actually how to do it. It says, all right, so we need to bring up a calculator, okay? Now we have to basically graph this line again. We need to graph this line. So let's go ahead and graph it. So what you need to click is this button right here, y equals. Okay, let's clear out what we have here. Press clear and it will get it erased. Now we need to type in negative 0.5x plus 3. Negative 0.5x plus 3. Let me just say this real quick, guys. Please don't hit the minus sign when you're doing the negative. Don't hit the minus sign. The negative button is under the 3. Hit that button. Okay, if you hit a minus sign in front of that 0.5, you're going to get an error. Okay, I'm glad that's it. Okay, now that we have this negative 0.5x plus 3, we need to graph it. So hit that button, graph, top right. Okay, cool. Now I see my x-intercept based off this. So let's go ahead and hit trace. I think that's what the instructions say, right? Where it says press second trace, second trace. So hit the blue button, second, and then hit trace. Okay, what does it next say? We need to adjust the arrows. So mine, I need to find the intersection. Let's see. Oh, look, mine says 0. Do you see where it says 0? That's what we want to find. That's the same thing as the x-intercept. So I'm going to press that. Now for me, mine says left bound and right bound. What that means is you need to put 2 lines on your graph to tell it where to scan to find it. So as you guys can see how I'm moving this here, now let me just kind of quickly show you. My x-intercept is right here. So what I want to do is put a line, you'll see in a minute. I want to have some vertical line going here, and I want to go all the way across and have another vertical line here to tell it I need you to scan in between these 2 lines to find my x-intercept. So I'm going to go here, press enter. You see what I mean? Now I have another vertical line. Go over here, press enter, and then once I press enter, it tells me what my x-intercept. It says zeros right here. What does it say? Y equals 6. Is that right? No, what is this value right here? Yep, my 0 is y equals 6. 6. Okay, so then my x-intercept is 6. Oops. Okay, so what that means is if your 0 is 6, your point is 6 comma 0. All right, now you found it. You're done. totally done. There's nothing else you need to do to complete these notes. If you have any questions and if you're lost, please ask your friend around you first and then come ask me. Alrighty, thanks guys.